Hello, we're going to start today with kind of where we left off on number 26. I was talking about when they shall say peace and safety, then sudden destruction will come. As travail upon a woman with child. You know, everybody's scratching for peace. They can't stand the thoughts of war. But the Antichrist, when he comes, he's going to be full of trickery. That's how he comes. According to Daniel 9:27, he makes a treaty with Israel for 7 years, and in the middle of it, he breaks it. And that's where 2 Thessalonians 2 is fulfilled, where he goes into the temple of God, trying to make himself as God, and that's what's called in Matthew 24:15, the abomination of desolation. And so, with all the things that are going on in the world, we talked some last week about wars and rumors of wars. That's continual. I think America's had less than 50 years in its whole history with complete peace without being involved in a war. So we're a warring people. The whole world's like that. But I want to talk to you today about what's called the gap theory, and I want to explain to you a little bit about the 70 weeks of Daniel. We learned last week that it was 7 weeks and 69 and 2 weeks. 62 weeks and 7 weeks, which is 69 weeks. And that's from the command to go forth and build the temple until Messiah's cut off. And so when we read the book of Revelation, you know, it says 70 weeks are determined. So we know in chapter 9, verse 27, you find 69 of them. It's 483 years. But 7 times 7, or 70 weeks, would be 690 years. And so I want to show you that for just a minute. Go first of all to Daniel chapter 12, verse 4. And let me see what we can do here. Daniel 12, verse 4. Give me 1 second here. Got too many things going. Daniel, book of Daniel. I said that, didn't I? You can tell I'm stalling, right? You'll be okay. Chapter 9 and verse 27. I'll reread that for you. It says, and he, the Antichrist, you can read chapter 25 or 9, 25, 26, 27. I'm not going to read it all. But he says in verse 24, know therefore and understand that from the going forth of the commandment to restore and build Jerusalem, this is after the total captivity is over, unto Messiah, or Jesus, the Prince, shall be 7 weeks and 62 weeks. That's 69 weeks. The street shall be built, the wall, even in troublous times. And verse 26, after 62 weeks shall Messiah be cut off. That's the cross. That's where Jesus pays the debt for our sin. But not unto himself. And the people of the princes shall come, which is the devil. I said last week, Jesus says in John 16, the prince of this world cometh, and he has no part with me. I believe 16 could be 14. So, and till he destroys the sanctuary, and there's an end that shall be with a flood, and the end of war of desolations. Verse 27, and he, the devil, Antichrist, one world leader, shall confirm a covenant with many for 1 week. And I want to talk to you about that word. I'm not going to go through all of it, but when you read the story of when Laban, Rebekah's brother, Jacob is working for him. He has 2 daughters, Leah and Rachel. Falls in love with Rachel, but Laban tricks him on his wedding night and gives him the other sister. And the word is used, you shall confirm her covenant for 1 week. And the word week in these instances here, it means weeks of years, or literally 7 days each day representing a year. So 69 weeks is 483 years, but he said 70 weeks are determined upon that people. Now I want you to go to Revelation chapter 12, and I know this is a little hectic, but you'll be all right. Chapter 12, and I want you to look at chapter 12, starting at verse, I'm just going to start from verse 2. And many of them that sleep in the dust of the earth shall awake, some to everlasting life and some to everlasting shame. You can find this scripture in John chapter 5, verse 28 and 29, I believe. It says, don't marvel at the fact that he was talking to them about the resurrection. For in that day, they that have done good and they that have done evil shall be resurrected. The good to the resurrection of life and the evil to the resurrection of damnation. You can find the resurrection of life in 1 Thessalonians chapter 4, and you can find the resurrection of damnation in Revelation chapter 20. And so that's when the devil will be bound for 1,000 years. They'll have the great white throne judgment. And so from that point, when you read the book of Revelation, it is the 70th week. And so in verse 4, same chapter, it says, but thou, O Daniel, chapter 12, verse 4, shut up the words, seal the book, and even to the time of the end, many shall run to and fro, and knowledge shall be increased. Now I want you to go to Revelation chapter 5, and I want to establish this 70th week. In Revelation chapter 5, he said, and I saw on the right hand of him that sat on the throne a book within, on the back, sealed on the backside, sealed with 7 seals. And I saw a strong angel proclaiming with a loud voice, worthy is the Lamb to open the book. This is the same book that Daniel shut. It was closed until the time of the end. And no man in heaven or earth, neither under the earth, was able to open the book, neither to look thereon. And I wept much, this is John weeping, John the Revelator, because no man was found worthy to open and read the book, neither to look thereon. And one of the elders said unto me, weep not, because the Lion, Jesus, of the tribe of Judah, the root of David, Jesus, hath prevailed to open the book and to loose the 7 seals. And I beheld, and lo, in the midst of the throne and of the 4 beasts, and in the midst of the elders stood a lamb, Jesus, and as if it had been slain, Jesus, having 7 horns and 7 eyes, which are the 7 spirits of God, and sent forth into the earth. And he came and took the book out of the right hand of him that sat on the throne, God. And when he had taken the book, the 24 elders and the beasts fell down before the Lamb, having every one of them harps and golden vials of odors, and many prayers of the saints. So Daniel closed the book because he had the revelation. The whole prayer for Daniel was, what's going to become in my people in the latter days? He found in the scrolls the story of Jeremiah. And what Jeremiah had prophesied is that 70 years Israel would be in captivity in Babylon. And it's getting toward the end, or far enough that Daniel wanted to know. And he earnestly prayed and fasted and believed God. And the Lord heard him and sent Gabriel to him. You can find this out. Read Daniel 7, 8, 9, 10. That's all good stuff. And so he knows God looks at the heart of Daniel and sends Gabriel. And Gabriel reveals to him what's going to happen. And he says in verse 24, 70 weeks, that's weeks of years, are determined upon your people. And he explains it from the going forth to build the temple till the cutting off of the Messiah. That's a total of 62 weeks and 7 weeks, which is 483 years. This week, the 7 years that the tribulation, 7 years long, this is the end of the 70 weeks at this book right here. And so we know that when you get in the book of Revelation, you are finishing off what God had explained to Daniel. As a matter of fact, it reveals what's going to happen to Israel. It reveals what's going to happen to the people that are on earth. And I suggest that you learn it, read the book of Revelation, read the book of Daniel. Just read it. You don't have to understand everything. And we do know that in the middle of the tribulation period, that's 42 months, 1,260 days, that Israel will be taken out of the tribulation, put in Jordan, into Petra, and they'll be there until Jesus comes with the clouds. Revelation chapter 1, verse 7. Every eye shall see him. That's the second coming. And they will say, blessed is he who comes in the name of the Lord. I know that's a lot, but play this again. Play it over and over. Write all the scriptures down. And when you find a bunch of stuff wrong, call me.